Mondo.
Present.
Ms. Borelli. Ms. Ainello. Present. Ms. Mahoney.
Present.
Mr. Quinn.
Present.
Ms. Robinson.
Here.
Ms. Roloff.
Here.
Ms. Torbic.
Here.
Ms. Zottarelli.
Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all members of the Board of Education and to the Bergen Record in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, 1975. At this time, please be advised that all cell phones and electronic devices should be turned off. We have a student representative report. Do we have a student here?
Can we allow this coffee and between to go first?
Before the student report. Okay. Okay, we're going to go straight to the
Wait, that's right. Yeah, no, here we go.
presentation for the middle school. Principal Brenda Coffey and Vice Principal Donald Meach.
And Caitlin Peppercini, our middle school counselor.
I'm not sure if that's working. Okay. Good evening, everyone. So tonight we have the middle school presentation, and we're going to show you and talk about how we support our district goal of wellness. So it's a mental, social, and emotional wellness. We have Mr. Meisch, our guidance counselor, some teachers, and our students tonight to present to you. So we're really not going to do that much talking. It's really going to be all about them, and they're going to talk about our initiatives and things that we've been doing in the middle school, and we're really excited to share that. And so are they.
Okay. So, hello, my name is Emma Lee. I'm the student council president, and in student council, we try to engage students through different events. So one of these things we did was the dodgeball tournament, which we set up to engage students to promote activities and also engage them together and promote our school. And we're working on the Kiss the Frog project, which is to engage students in benefiting the school and raising money towards charity.
Who's the frog?
We have to buy it. Yeah.
Do you want to explain a little bit about
Okay.
what you're doing with
So what we'll be doing is we'll be selling tickets to students, and they can write down the name of the teacher they want to kiss the frog with their consent, of course, and then and then whichever teacher raises the most money has to kiss the frog.
So I'll make a donation and opt out.
Okay. And then react.
My name is Lindsay, and I am a member of the React Club. So the React Club does a lot of community service activities, like some in our community, and then some for the whole country or the whole world. And something that we're working on right now is Project Linus, where we're going to be making blankets to go into children's hospitals, and we're going to have an event where we can make blankets and people can donate fabric that they have so that we can donate as many blankets as possible.
Hi, I'm Emily Pills, and I'm also a member of the React Club with Lindsay, and she talked about how, what we're doing, and I'm going to share with you, how that makes us feel, and all the members of React Club, we just all feel, accomplished because we know that we are affecting people for the better, and we are helping them out, as well as in Hero Club, we're helping people outside of school and inside of school. So we are able to take on leadership roles and know that we're making a difference.
and one of our co-advisors, Ms. Oros, is actually here tonight, so thank you.
Hi, I'm Allison Welby. So some of our middle school clubs are intramurals, yearbook,
newspaper and others. I'm part of yearbook and newspaper, so with that, in newspaper, we come up with topics about things we'd like to write about, and then we all come together and put it into one article. For yearbook, currently, we are working to get our class polls for the 8th grade, and then we're gonna start assembling everything with pictures from the year and stuff like that.
Okay, I am, well, you know who I am. Okay, but I am a part of the yearbook club, the newspaper club, the environmental club, and the hero club and React, as I stated earlier. So in environmental club, we really want to promote recycling. So currently we are trying to get more recycling bins across the school and make posters to encourage kids to recycle, and that's something that can help not only the school but the whole world with the less trash in landfills.
Hi, you already know who I am. So, I'm in yearbook, the Junior Falcons newspaper. I'm actually the editor-in-chief, and then I'm also in the band and choir. For the newspaper, like Lindsay said, and Emily, or she didn't speak yet, but like Allison said, it really helps us to learn how to express ourselves and communicate with other students. Working on the newspaper really helps us to express ourselves and get the word out to the community of our school about different projects we work on and other things that go on. And I'm also in the yearbook, which we just stated, we're working on the polls, which really helps us come together as a community and show our school spirit, kind of. I also happen to be in the band and choir, and it's a really amazing opportunity because we get to learn how to learn instruments, and it's a great community of friends and a great environment overall.
So I'm Alishba Khan, and I'm a part of the yearbook club and the Junior Falcons newspaper for middle school. And in yearbook club, aside from the class polls, I'm a part of the clubs, and it just makes the yearbook more memorable when the students are making it, because we are the ones that are going through the 8th grade year. So it's not just the parents, it's us. And for the Junior Falcons newspaper, I'm a page editor, and it's a good chance for all different kids of the newspaper to state their opinions on not just our community, but on different parts of the world and politics and things like that. And they're not afraid to state their own opinion and caring what other people think. And just when our newspaper is complete and we're part of the folding process, making everyone together after completing the newspaper, it feels nice for everyone to come together and completing something that looks small but is actually something that we worked really hard for.
Hi, my name is Emily Huang, and I'm a member of the band and choir. So when you're in band and choir, you get to express yourself through music. So like there's so many different people that you meet in it, and it's like such a nice little community, and it's really fun too.
And a side note, she was just in the Mamma Mia play over the weekend too.
Hi, so I'm in the Junior Falcons newspaper as well as yearbook club, and one of my favorite things about the newspaper club is that our first ever meeting, we just come in and we bounce ideas off of each other. So the whole newspaper is just our ideas and what we come up with. We're never given things to write about by Miss Rippis. It's just all the students, which is something that I really like about it, because I feel like it's like the whole yearbook, not the whole newspaper, is like a piece of us.
So I'm going to have them just talk a little bit about some of their leadership initiatives that they started. So one of the top things that I'll have them, the students approached me a few months ago and asked about starting a peer tutor. So if you girls would just speak about that for a moment.
Okay, so The idea originally came up during language arts when me and Lindsay and Emily were talking, and we were basically like, hey, wouldn't it be nice if during our lunchtime we could help Miss Militello, who is the supervisor of peer tutoring now, tutor the other kids of the school to really help Saddlebrook. And then we went to Miss Militello's room and we asked her, and she was like, sure. And then we went to Mr. Meisch's class, or his office, and he said sure. So the next week we basically started peer tutoring, and we've been doing it ever since.
Yeah. One of the main reasons that we wanted to start this little program was because yes, there is tutoring before school and sometimes after school, but not all people can come earlier in the morning or stay after school to get help. So one of the best things about our program is that it's during your lunch period that you could just come up to Miss Militello's room and get help from fellow students, which is us. And it's just really helpful because the students that come up are still able to eat their lunch. They don't have to just skip their entire lunch period and be hungry, but they can still get the help that they need and feel confident going into their classes the next day.
So all 6 of us here are all peer tutors, and there's a couple of other peer tutors also, and we were really able to grow it so that it was able to be in all 3 of the lunch periods, and so that there were enough people so that everyone can get the help that they would need in the subject. And it's also helpful to have students around their age explaining it, because sometimes when high schoolers explain it, they don't really remember what it's like to be them when they first learn it, and they don't always remember all the topics that they learn. So it's helpful to have someone around their age teaching them.
And I became a peer tutor a few weeks after this idea started taking place. And my favorite part about it is that it's a very flexible environment where you could eat your lunch first and then come up. And it's just easier for other students' schedules if they can't make it after school. And I think the biggest thing is that when a student has to come up during lunch, they don't have to just go one-on-one with a teacher and it feels uncomfortable. They have multiple students their age explaining it to them, and they have multiple ways of different explanations for math, language arts, science, social studies. So if they don't get it one way, they could get help a different way.
So, and now I'm just gonna, you see a couple of the other things listed up here that they're involved with, and just again, serving in the community. Great examples for the other students. We'll talk about in a moment about the tours, but we provide tours, and these are the students who do it for the 6th graders who are coming in. We have a little video about STEMCom where a lot of the students they took a much more active role, and our 2 kind of the pioneers of STEMCon are here, Mr. Haas and Ms. Resnick. So if you guys want to say something.
Sure. Hi, I'm Mr. Haas. This is Ms. Resnick. This year we took over planning for STEMCon, and kind of going with the theme of the night is really all the credit for its success is deserved by the students, really, because they did such a great job. Every single one of our booths this year was run by a student, and really it was just Ms. Resnick and I putting the students in place to kind of shine and show off the great talents that they have in regards to their knowledge about robotics or engineering or video game design. So we're going to show you this video, and you get to kind of see a lot of the things we had for the kids to do, and we're looking to go bigger and better next year.
Yeah, so one thing that I do want to mention is that these are not students that we reached out to. These are students who reached out to us saying that they wanted to take a more leadership role, and they wanted to know what they could do to help, and they wanted to really take ownership over their booths. So it was really awesome to see that level of student engagement, and you'll see that in the video.
And definitely since then we've had a huge uptick in members for both STEM Club and Robotics Club, which is fantastic. There you go.
Before we go forward from that, I do want to mention that Mr. Shallcross also helped us out immensely with STEMCon in the fall. So I want to throw his name in there too.
So I'm just going to talk just very briefly about some of the events that we have. There's two types of events that we offer. There are events that help with the transition into middle school, and obviously that transition is very stressful for students and their parents. And I remember as a 7th grader what it was like, and I just had a daughter start preschool, and I just like know all the emotions I felt with that. And middle school is a way bigger thing. So one of the first things we have is our 6th grade parent night and our elementary school tours. They're kind of the same idea, but they're for, the 6th grade parent night is for parents, obviously. The elementary school tours, we have the 6th graders come in, and what we give everyone an opportunity to meet the staff, they meet the principals, they meet the guidance counselor, some of the teachers, and they get a chance to ask questions, which again, helps to alleviate some of that anxiety. That occurs in June. Right before school begins, we do our 7th grade orientation, and that's where the students get to come in and we do some icebreaker activities, so they get to know some of the students from the other schools. We let them walk through their schedule. They get to practice with their locker, which that's a big deal for the students. And then we also have a parent portion where they get to ask questions, sign up for the parent access on Genesis. The other events that we do, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but the other events that we do, they're designed to just build community within the school. The kickball was new for this year. The honor societies probably are, one of our highest academic focuses. The field trips, they love them. It's a great experience. Field day, kids probably like it more than, it's probably bigger to them than graduation. And then of course, our 8th grade promotion, which rounds out that middle school experience. At this point, I am going to turn it over to Ms. Fabricini. She's our first-year guidance counselor in the middle school. She's done a phenomenal job of really just helping to foster community in our school. So, Fabricini.
So when we had the students come and talk about their involvement in leadership opportunities and clubs and organizations, it's because when we look at wellness from a student's perspective, it's not just what they do from 9 to 3 in their classrooms. It's what they get to do to experience their interests, to explore different topics. They were saying what they like about the newspaper and about yearbook. It was their ideas. They weren't dictated something to write about or a theme to go with. They were able to explore on their own. And so when we think about a student wellness, I think about the whole wraparound of a child, a whole child, not just the academic portion, but what can we do to support a student and building our culture here, our community. And in order to do that, we need to give students opportunities to shine and be themselves. Not everyone is a math kid or a language arts reading kid. They might be a yearbook kid or an intramurals kid, and so we want to give them outlets and opportunities to do that. And through the guidance and the counseling department, what I have done specifically as the school counselor, we started the year with a Mix It Up Day lunch, where the students were asked to sit at different tables in October. So in September, they established their groups, their tables, and then in October, we asked them to change just for the day, so that they get the idea that we are asking them to reach across the table to somebody new. How do you start conversations? We gave them table topics. We gave them short games that they can play or introductions. We wanted to be able to say that our community here embraces change and newness and reaching out to those we might not know. In terms of Wellness Wednesday, that is something that we do once a month, where we offer opportunities for students to come and learn or develop a skill that is related to coping skills or their resilience, giving them brain breaks. So once a month, we try and give them different activities that teaches them how to do it. I don't want to provide an event that makes them do it. I want them to be able to walk away and say, okay, I know that I can do this when I'm stressed. We provide kindness opportunities through our murals, our bulletin boards. I oversee our Hero Club, which some of our students talked about. There's a Get Organized Club. We have assemblies, and we're working on the Orange Project with Ms. Sassone, who's in the high school, so that will be a building-wide activity. So that was just one of the pictures from Mix It Up Day. Like I said, in October, we watched a assembly where we talked about forgiveness and where we learned that there's resilience and coping skills, and it's okay to be uncomfortable. We have uncomfortable moments in our life. So then we challenged them for 40 minutes of being uncomfortable at a table with people they don't know, and they did great. I think actually 2 Hero Club members described their experience that they didn't know each other before the event, but they made friendships after. So now they're part of the Hero Club and they like to share that story. So Wellness Wednesdays that we've had in November is when we started. I asked the Hero Club to give me ideas of things that they enjoy to do, again, so that it wasn't dictated to them. But in November, we started with coloring and word puzzles, and we gave them sheets so that they can keep them in their binder. When you're doing homework and you get stressed, take out a coloring page, or do a word puzzle, take a break. In December, we had a snowball fight where they wrote down questions, crumpled them up, threw them across the room, opened and started a dialogue. They had a lot of fun. They were crouching on the floor, making forts. January, we did dance. February, we did Legos, Play-Doh, and kinetic sand. This month, we did origami. Coming up, we're going to be making stress balls, and in the month of May, when the students are going to be participating in park, we're offering chair yoga so that they have the skills and the tools to be able to get through a long day. And then in June, we're hoping to bring them outside for a courtyard lunch and a sensory walk. So these are some of our students participating in our Wellness Wednesday events. We want to flood the building with kind, positive messages. So recently, during Random Acts of Kindness Week, I went into the lunchroom and I asked students to fill out a feather with a kind action or a kind word, and this is the falcon that they developed with those feathers. And also during Random Acts of Kindness Week, we left kindness notes on every middle school student's locker so that when they arrived that day, they had something to read and look at. One of my roles as a school counselor is also to provide messages through our bulletin board upstairs in the middle school wing, or on the second floor. And every month I try to think of something that the students need, a takeaway. So in September we started with change your words, you'll change your mind. Let's start the year with positive affirmations that get us through the school year. October, we focused on kindness. In November, we talked about gratitude. So again, I went into the lunchroom and I had students fill out leaves that expressed what they're grateful for, and we made a tree. I want the students to feel like they're being represented here in the building. So when they come through the hallway, they can read their own names and they can read what they're grateful for and for their community. In December, when we go back to wellness, we gave them ideas on how to take breaks. Go into the city, have a snowball fight, drink hot chocolate, stay in pajamas all day. We want them to take breaks. And then in February and January, we talked about using football as your game plan for a supermarking period 3. Again, through the guidance department, working with Miss Sassone, who was the middle school counselor last year and is now the high school counselor this year. She did an amazing job setting aside time for breaking the cycle and remembering TJ so that our students were hearing messages of resilience, forgiveness, coping skills, and mental health, so that they knew that we found that it was important for us to talk about and that they could talk about it with us. Lastly, we have student recognition. Every week we recognize a student as Falcon of the Week, and this year we asked our students to design the Falcon in a competition. So Carly Morella is an 8th grade student and her Falcon won for designs. So now once a week a student is honored for our Falcon of the Week and they wear her design, which is pretty awesome.
And then, just something that we're starting, we started a committee for an incentive plan for next year for students, because we have so many students who are doing everything the right way, and we want to recognize them more. So we are coming up with plans for recognizing those students, and one of them being a school store. So we formed a committee, and we've been meeting and planning that out. So just again want to say thank you to everyone, to the families, Ms. Shanley, members of the Board of Education, Mr. Karate. As an insider, when we come up and say we want to do something, for the kids, it's okay, go ahead. And even if it's like, well, you can't do it this way, it's all right. Well, we're going to help you figure out the way to make it work, and that's from That's from you all, that's from the families as well. Everyone's working together, so we appreciate it. Thank you very much, and thank you for letting us speak.
If I may,
You may.
I would like to thank you all for coming tonight. I wish that students were still here.
I know, they had to get picked up.
I understand. They probably had homework and reading to do and things like that. But I just wanted to thank you all and thank the teachers who support the students too. You know, we have a relatively new team here. When I didn't hire Mr. Meich or Mrs. Coffey, I didn't have the pleasure, but I was part of the team that hired Ms. Fabricini, and so I am so excited to see that everything that you promised you would do, you've done. And it's one of the reasons that we hired you. And so I'm grateful that you have a supportive team and that you're doing all the things that you're doing. Saying yes is something we really try to do, especially when a student comes up and asks. We do everything we can to try to say yes. Sometimes budget prevents us from saying yes immediately or in full, but we do our best. The other piece is the in service to others. I can't, impress upon the students enough how within the framework of servant leadership, for example, one of the reasons why that leadership style is so effective is because of its long-term internal reward, intrinsic reward, and the benefit, the personal benefit that the students receive from helping others. And if we can teach that early in life, they'll be wonderful, compassionate members of society, which is so important. I also love to see that everything that you're doing really celebrates the entire student, from core academics to athletics to the creative process and inquiry with STEM, and then the creative arts and the service piece. I mean, you really are providing them with a truly comprehensive experience, and I think that's what makes it an amazing situation, and the fact that you do it in a building where they're sharing this space with some very big kids, just speaks to your planning and your organization. So, I mean, it's really very incredibly impressive. So thank you all. Anybody else has anything?
Yes, thank you all very much. It was a wonderful presentation, and for people like us on the board, it is so wonderful to see so many great, positive, student-driven activities happening. It has really come a long way in a short amount of time with all the new stuff we have, and we are greatly appreciative of all your hard work and the students' hard work in making all of this happen. So thank you very much. Anybody else?
If I may,
You may.
as a board member, there are times where I really want to pull my hair out and say to myself, why am I doing this? After seeing presentations like this, I'm proud to say I'm part of this board to allow those kids to be all they can be. Thank you.
Well, okay, moving right along with more student initiatives, we'll have the, where are they?
They are here. Okay, so Laura Scatura,
Oh, there they are.
Victoria Mazursky, representing tonight.
Yeah, I saw them sitting there and then it disappeared.
So, hi, I'm Laura Scaturo. This is Tori Mazursky. And I'm going to apologize in advance if I mess up any names because I don't do a lot of public speaking. So, starting with high school, 12 parents showed up to our Option 2 information meeting. March 18th through 22nd is Spirit Week at SBHS. Monday is Pajama Day, Tuesday is Twin Day, Wednesday is Vine/Meme Day, Thursday is USA Day, and Friday is Class Decade Day. Freshman themes is 1950s, sophomores are the 60s, juniors are the 20s, seniors are the 90s, and middle school is the 80s. Congratulations to our All-League recipients for the 2018-19 winter sports season. For wrestling, first team was Michael DePerry and Dean Sedicase. Second team is Christian Sade, Michael Faustini, Jacob Dimitrik, and Manny Ortiz. And honorable mention to Zachary Estango. Congratulations to our competitive cheer team for coming in first place in the state competition in Trenton and on nationals for being awarded first place in their division, first place in advanced girls all music category, as well as grand champs. In indoor track and field, Boys second team was Christian Mendez. Girls first team, 4x400 relay, is Natalie Travisano, Anna Memja, Stephanie Forster, and Nicole Kalinowski. For girls basketball, first team is Ashley Georgievich, second team is Bianca Ionello, and honorable mention to Deanna Acapinti. Boys basketball, first team is Ricardo Rosa, and honorable mention to Anthony Marchetta. For middle school, they hosted a Wellness Wednesday on March 6th. Students learned origami as well as to de-stress. 9 middle school students took part in the very successful production of Mamma Mia this past weekend. For Franklin School, for their family day this month, each family played various board games with one another. We learned patience, taking turns, following directions, teamwork, and plenty of other important life skills. The best part was watching our upper grade students set up the games and play with those in the younger grades. Franklin School is starting our March Madness for books. Each class has voted for their favorite picture book and created a summary. Each student is now filling in their brackets. Let the tournaments begin. For Long Memorial School, the students participated in the Red Across America activities. Special activities included projects with the cross-grade levels reading buddies. Special assemblies in February included our author visit, sponsored by the SBEF, and our SBHS spring musical performance of Mamma Mia. The Georgie Badel Foundation Service Learning Project was launched with students at the beginning of March. Ms. Badel sent LMS students a video message to thank them in advance for their support of the foundation. And lastly, from Smith School loved having a variety of guest readers on March 1st for Read Across America Day. Thank you to all the community members and staff members who came out to join our students. And that's it.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we'll go to the superintendent's report.
I just wanted to add to that report because it was a last moment squeeze in. So Helen Smith School is currently participating in Hoops for Heart in association with March Madness, basketball, and physical education. And they have raised $1,130 so far and continue to fundraise while enjoying basketball unit involving dribbling, shooting, and passing games as well as a tournament. So we have some good things going on. I would like to just share with everyone, I know some of you were there because I saw you there, this past weekend at Mamma Mia. It was a spectacular production. The kids were just so incredibly talented. For so young, I was really impressed, and the quality of the musicianship, the quality of the acting. It was a wonderful event, and in the course of 3 days, they raised over $15,000 in ticket sales. So that is incredible compared to years in the past, specifically last year, where I believe they raised approximately $5,500 in ticket sales. And I think one of the things that was a little bit different this year was that we sold tickets online prior to the show where you could pick your seats. And I think that was a little bit of an incentive for people to pick the seat they really wanted. And they practically sold out every performance. There were some seats on the back and on the sides, just a couple. But just incredibly impressive. And you know, the goal of any school musical production is to be able to sustain itself, and so that when they get excited about maybe buying the rights to a more expensive production, that they actually have the funds to do something like that. So they're on the road to being able to sustain themselves, and that's what part of what makes a great program. I just wanted to share, so for the past 2 days, middle and high school administrators and the guidance counselors, and for some of the time I was there, and Sonia Artero, our district data coordinator, we're working with Genesis. So we had Genesis come in, that's our student information and data warehousing system. It's also our scheduling system and our report card system, and working at the middle school and high school to create a truly student-driven schedule. So with the requests that the students make, to try and create a schedule that's not a schedule that we try to fill students in, but that it's a schedule driven by the desires and the course selections of the students. And so this has been great. It's a learning experience. It's good for them to do if they haven't done this before. And one of the other pieces is when we talk about reducing anxiety. You can go. When we talk about reducing anxiety for the students, one of the goals for this year is to have in place a move-up day. So lots of districts do their schedules in the summer. Our goal is to do our schedule before June 1st, so that during the month of June, we could craft a move-up day into the schedule, so that we have each student will receive his or her schedule and actually walk through their schedule for the day. Get to meet his or her teachers. The teachers will have their schedules, and then all you do is schedule like an add-drop period for any conflicts or any troubles. That allows everybody to go off for the summer, knowing what they're taking, knowing who they have, if there's any summer work that needs to be done, and there's not a mad scramble in the summer when no one's here to try to work it out. So it's just a way to do what we're trying to do better, and once again, to promote, less anxiety about the following year. We are working to clean up, and Ms. Selma is doing a great job of cleaning up our Option 2 program and streamlining the process for Option 2, and really working to change the conversation about what Option 2 truly can and should be, which is an opportunity for students to advance whatever it is that they are passionate about. Most importantly, it's an opportunity for students to take advantage of college courses at the high school level. So a senior, for example, could go to county and take a psychology class at the college level, or a chemistry class at the college level, so that when they're applying to college, it's not necessarily the same as sitting in an AP class where you don't take that test until the spring, and only if you get a certain score on that test will a college even consider that credit. No, this is real bona fide college credit. So we're trying to change the conversation and get students and parents to really think about how we build a transcript and how we create strong, competitive transcripts for students, so that when they go and they apply to college or some career, that they really have something strong and to show what they've done in high school. So we're working very hard on that. Our kindergarten, first grade, and second grade teachers visited classrooms that were teaching Project Read. They thought it was important as part of their launch this year to see what it looks like, because they saw it in the beginning of the year. See what does it look like in the middle of the year? Where are teachers who are teaching Project Read, where are they now compared to where we are now? How do we work on creating a scope and sequence so that we can really ready our students in K1 and 2 in solid phonics instruction? So all of our K1 and 2 teachers and special education teachers in those grades visited teachers teaching Project Read. All of the elementary schools participated in Read Across America in celebration of Dr. Seuss's birthday. Representatives from the district, the board, the town council, police department, retired Saddlebrook teachers, family members, friends, community members came together in all the elementary schools to read to students in their classrooms. And Franklin School held their school-wide competition for Battle of the Books, and they are sending their winning team to the district-wide Battle of the Books. So each elementary school has had a Battle of the Books competition, and then those winners come together, and then they face off. And that's happening next week. And I think that's the end of my report.
Thank you very much. Business Administrator's report.
Thank you, President Quinn. This evening, my report is to update on some of the agenda items. If you turn to the Finance Budget Facilities section, I gave a report on most of these items on Monday, but F94, just to update the board and public, so we're rejecting the bids for the security vestibules for the second time. Normally, after you go to bid for a second time and they come in over the budget amount, you can negotiate with the contractors. However, we had made changes to the second bid to try to reduce the cost, so it's not apples to apples, so we'd have to go out to bid again. I talked with the architect. What we're going to do is we're going to split up the project, because there's a door component and there's general construction. Both will be bid out separately. The ad will be going in the paper this weekend, and we're hoping the cost will come down lower to our estimates. The award is on April 9th, day before our action meeting on the 10th, so we're hoping to have bids to award that day. F-96, I was trying to get this on. We approved cameras, though we approved cameras in January. We do need additional cameras, so we're going back to this company Turnkey, who has a cooperative bid, so we don't have to go out to bid for them. However, it's in between two bidding cycles, so instead of rushing this, I just got some paperwork actually late this afternoon, and he doesn't have the final document, so I'm pulling this off till April. So F-96 will be pulled off when you take the actions later. And just an ESIP, the Energy Savings Improvement Program. The solar panels are being installed on Franklin, Long School, and the middle high school, and that's moving. At a decent pace. We expect it to be turned over to our electric panel, hopefully by May. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Okay, so may we have a motion to open the bid to the public comment?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the meeting is open for public comment for agenda items only. What? And policies. That's actually on the agenda. Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak on any agenda or policy items at this time? Seeing none, I'd like a motion to close.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving to board action items. I'd like a motion to approve the following B24 through B27.
Second.
Any question or comment? Mr. Crotty?
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Torbic?
Yes.
Ms. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes on all except B25, but abstaining because I was not here for that. One and two.
Okay. Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. Education and curriculum, Ms. Torbic?
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items, B27 through B28.
Any?
questions?
Mr. Crotty?
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Torbic?
Yes.
Ms. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. Finance, budget, and facilities, Ms. Robinson?
Okay, as the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items without F-96.
Second.
Any questions? Mr. Crotty?
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
I'm going to abstain from F90, check number 55223, and yes to all the others.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Torbic?
Yes, but I'm going to abstain from F90, check number 55224, and from F97.
And yes to everything else?
Yes to everything else, sorry.
Sorry. Ms. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes to all, but I will abstain from F83. And on item F90, I'm going to abstain from check number 890 and check number 1261.
And yes to everything else? I'm not sure if she said that. I thought she did. Mr. Quinn?
Yes. Policy, Ms. Mahoney?
All right, at the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. We have the first reading on policies P4211 through P8651, and the second reading on the policies starting with P2415.06 through P8561.
Wait a second. Any questions, comment? Mr. Crowdy?
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Torbeck?
Yes.
Ms. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Raccomando?
Yes.
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes to all, but I will abstain from policy number 2422 and policy number 2431.3.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. Personnel, Mr. Accomando?
Negotiations.
I was going to do that with committees.
At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items from P77 through P149.
Any questions? Mr. Crowdy?
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Torbeck?
Yes.
Ms. Zattarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Raccomando?
Yes.
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes to all, but I will abstain from P98.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. We'll now go to committee reports, negotiations.
The only thing I can say in negotiations right now is we're waiting for the date from the county. I mean, it's in their hands, it's pretty much it.
Thank you.
In budget, the budget committee has been meeting regularly with Mr. Scott and Ms. Shanley. It's been a tough go. They're doing their best to try to help us do that. On Monday, we have the meeting at 7 o'clock for we adopt the tentative budget vote. So if you want to come and hear more about it, it's Monday, this Monday coming up, the 18th, at 7 o'clock in the meeting center.
It's a preliminary submission to the
Preliminary.
county. It's not the April big budget.
We can have a big budget, but if you want, we will be discussing some things, and then once it gets approved, then we have our regular, meeting to, I just want to go through. But it's not final yet.
Any other committees or liaisons have reports?
No, but I would like to just let parents know, the next middle school, high school PTO meeting will be next Thursday, March 21st, right here at 7 p.m.
Thank you. Any correspondence? Old business? New business? Okay, I'd like a motion to open the meeting to the public for comments. All in favor? Any opposed? Is there anybody from the public that would like to make comments before I read the long speech? Seeing none, I'd like a motion to close the meeting to the public.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? And we have no close, right? Motion to adjourn the meeting? All in favor? Any opposed? The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much for coming and for staying, those who presented. It's actually nice to see a full room of people.
Looks fuller in here.
Yes, it does.